All right, it's coffee and charts. Coffee and charts. So this is what is this? Volume 46. Another edition of Coffee and Charts. Yeah, let me know if the audio's coming through clear. As you guys make your way on, please make sure that you like the video and share the video. If you're tuning in from Facebook, be sure to follow the TeamAlliance Facebook page and turn on the bell for notifications. If you're tuning in from YouTube, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Turn on the bell notifications as well. And if you're tuning in from Twitter, be sure to retweet after you like and share the video. All right, so I just need to push this link out to a couple of places, and then I'll be ready to get started with today's observation. All right. All right, let me see if push this into the group. Well, groups, plural. And then I'll come over and check the chat. See how the audio is sounding. Audio should be good though. I haven't really had any issues with the audio. I mean, aside from it not being studio audio. I mean, for what it is, it's been okay. So, all right, so that's one. I got it in one of the chats. There's another one. And for anyone who's new to this live stream and to the content here on TeamAlliance, please feel free to ask whatever questions you may have about the platform that you're looking at, which is NADEX. If you have questions about the TeamAlliance training, where you can learn to trade professionally, you can ask questions about that. And pretty much anything that you're not sure of or that you had a question about, please feel free to ask. All right. This is the place right here where you learn how to trade professionally. For real, for real. Let me see what we have here. All right, so we See the internet acting a little funny again. I mean, it is what it is with these Wi-Fi connections out here. I can't really complain because I'm basically jacking somebody internet, Starbucks, McDonald's, all of that stuff. But it's all good. It's all good, man. All right. Okay, so audio was good. All right, very good. All right, so I've been doing a little bit of observation today, and I'm coming on earlier because I have a lot of things that I need to do throughout the day. So when I come out to get coffee, um, I will more than likely come on and do an observation while I have the time, because when the afternoon comes, I have other stuff I need to do, running around and taking care of business elsewhere. All right, so I will make use of my time, however, in the mornings like this when I have a moment to observe, and then I can do an observation at the same time. All right, so from what I've been seeing so far this morning, it's not really that much to look at as far as the market ranging. I haven't seen too much ranging going on, but I have seen the market actually stabilizing its movement, and the market is seeming as if it wants to begin ranging a bit. Like you can see, there's a cluster of smaller candles in here. You can see some smaller ones in here. And of course, it's mixed in with larger candles. But we know what leads up to the market starting to range. You'll see instances of it ranging, and then it will revert back to the larger candles if the larger candle environment was already present, which it is. But you are starting to see transition into a smaller candle environment because it's happening more frequently. So you had it in here, and you had it in here again. So this, where we are now, the market begins to where the hell are you going, bro? You totally going in the wrong direction. Like, what are you doing over there? Hold up. I don't know what homie's doing. I'm watching him though because you really don't have no reason to be back behind here like this. What are you doing? He's bugging because cars are gonna come in, and he's right there where cars are coming in, and there's not enough space for nobody to go around. So all he gonna do is create problems. People be wilding, man. Like what are you doing? I don't know what he's doing, but keep it on his ass, like I said. Excuse me. But anyway, so yeah, so from what I'm seeing so far, the candles are beginning to range a bit, because if you're seeing more than one instance, hold on a second. You pulling out now. But, I'm like, what was you doing there? Like, what was you doing there the whole time? I'm saying. Bugging. Bugging. All right, I'm outside, so I just, I be mindful of what I'm looking at, shit, what I'm seeing. That's all. I'll be aware of my whereabouts. But so the candles where we are now, where the market is positioned at, are decreasing in size, and we know that when we're waiting to see a range, that basically that means smaller candles are dominating the overall market, creating the range. But the market is not a light switch. Like, it don't just switch on and off. So what happens is it gradually makes its way into the environment and into the condition that we're waiting to see. The same way that if the market was stable first or already in an existing stable environment, it'll gradually make its way to a faster, larger candle environment. So it's the same thing in reverse. It gradually makes its way into whatever the environment is that it's shifting into. And it never does that like on a dime. So the market will gradually do all of this. Hold on a second. Let's move this bed over here. I think it's better over here. All right. Yeah, so the market will gradually make its way into the environment versus just doing it like that. It doesn't do that. Now, on the platform that you're looking at, what I use on this platform is a box. This green box right here. And this box basically isolates the activity of the market movement. It's showing you visually what the movement in the market is doing. Not only where it is, but how it is. The main thing that we're looking to be able to recognize is how the market's moving. So the how it is part is of the utmost importance. How is it moving? Where it's moving ultimately is going to determine if it's going to be isolated to being contained inside of the box. So in other words, if we're looking to see horizontal stability, we know that in order for that to take place, the market has to respect barriers. Has to respect barriers at the top or at the bottom of the area where the market movement has been contained. You see, so this is what the box represents. The box represents isolating the area of the movement. And what it's using is the top and the lowest strike price that is relevant for where the market is positioned. So basically, all I'm doing is taking the box. The top of the box represents the top most relevant strike price, and the bottom of the box represents the bottom most relevant strike price, right? So being that we want to see the movement contained inside of an area, we move the box according to where the market moves. We move the box according to the position that the market is concentrated in, because that represents the area that it's in. It represents where the market is being contained, right? So when you put all of that together, the box is helping to visually make everything easier for you when you observe. So now your observation just simply turns into being able to recognize that the market is or is not doing what it is that you're waiting for it to do. So in other words, like right now, for the last, this is what, 11:07? Yeah, so for 10 minutes, market has been contained inside of this box. Is the market in the range yet? It is transitioning into ranging. How do I know that? Well, because they're smaller candles. Well, Mark, how do you know that the candles are getting smaller? Well, the market is actually being contained in the box for a period of time. If the distance from top to bottom of the box represents 2 pips, and actually in this case it represents 4 pips because it's after 8 o'clock in the morning. After 8, it shifts to 4 pips of distance between the strikes. So if the distance is 4 pips, that's 40 micro pips. And what that means is if the activity is staying in between 40 micro pips, the candles are not violating the top or the bottom of the box, meaning that they're not moving outside of that 40 micro pip range. Or a better word to use is the 40 micro pip area, because range, we know, is the word that we use to identify smaller candle dominance. We use the word range to recognize that the actual candles are smaller and the candles are remaining inside of an area as they're smaller. So this ultimately is what creates horizontal stability. And you'll hear me use terminology like horizontal stability or vertical stability. Right now I'm talking about horizontal stability. So when you are introduced to the NADEX platform through TeamAlliance, the way that I teach you out the gate is how to how to recognize horizontal stability. Why? Because it's easier to see things when the market is slower. It's easier to see things when there is less going on, not more. Makes sense, right? So this is how you're taught out the gate when you begin to train here. And everything is laid out in a way where you basically can understand everything that's happening regardless of what your experience level might be. So a lot of people have experience, in the market overall, and they may even have experience on the NADEX platform. But that doesn't mean much if you have not been able to be consistent when you trade. And this is where it gets sketchy for people who use NADEX already, because it's difficult for most people that are already on the platform to accept the fact that they don't know a lot. There's a lot they just don't know. And then they come here and you start learning specific things like, oh, wow, man, I didn't know that. Wow, that makes sense. Man, this makes a lot of sense. Why didn't I think of that? Like your wheels start spinning like this. I understand. It's something that just naturally happens. And all because you are already on the platform. So you use the platform already. So in your mind, you're like, well, I know what I'm doing because I've been using the platform for 2 years. Doesn't mean that you are successful. Doesn't mean that you're consistent when you trade. As a matter of fact, more than likely, if you run into this and you keep watching, it's because you're not. Am I right? Oh, well, I do pretty good on NADEX, but I just want to be more consistent. In other words, you're losing. See, like, you can't be delusional. You have to know, if you don't have a net profit and you're not making withdrawals regularly and you're not withdrawing more than you deposited, like, how, like, all right, here's a simple way to determine if you're doing well. Go in your account, and if you got money in there, take it all out. Take every dollar out except for $100. Take it all out. Mark, I can't do that because I'm at 10 contracts. Listen, you have to be put to the test. Take it all out. Leave $100 in there. And now you start at 1 contract. But Mark, I'm already at 10. I don't care. Start at 1 contract, $100. Leave $100 in your account. Now, whatever you trade and whatever you normally do, go ahead and keep doing that. And now, instead of relying on your contract size to give you the illusion that you're profitable, because what many people will do when they reach a certain contract size, they'll remain at that contract size, because if they happen to lose, they'll just redeposit that amount. So you might be at 10 contracts, you'll win some trades, then you'll lose, right? And when you lose, if you lose too much, then you got to redeposit so that you're back at 10 contracts. You're delusional if you think that you're doing well, if that's what's happening. See, when you're in the moment, you don't know what's happening because you're just in the moment. You're emotional. The same way that you don't know how to stop trading. You're caught up in your emotions. You're too emotional, in fact. So anyway, and again, see, a lot of this I do and I speak on to help people that are already on the platform, because a lot of people already use NADEX. So if you run into this content, you know, unless you're brand new to everything that's going on, you use NADEX already. You're already on the platform. I know that already. So the way to test yourself and to test your skill, $100, 1 contract. Now, what you do is when you trade, instead of looking at it like, well, normally, you know, at 10 contracts on 1 trade, I make about $80. No, it'll be more than that. $180. Let's say, yeah, so yeah, $180. We'll say that you traded in the money or whatever. So you used to making $180 per trade, but you're going through the cycle of winning and losing. So we really don't know what you're making, because you'll win some and then you take a loss. So everything that you won, you lost. You gave it back. But listen, I'm trying to help you keep track of not only your account and how much profit you're making, but also of your actual trades and your skill level. So what you do is you take that 1 contract and you keep trading like you normally do. But every time that you trade, when you have an opportunity to scale up and to trade with more contracts, you increase your contract size. Just do this. Many of you have seen the projects that I do. You've seen various projects I've done just over time, multiple times. What do I start with? Every time, 1 contract, $100 in the account. Every time, right? You always see the first, when you look at the first video, what's the balance? $100. Now, by the time you get into, you know, the 10th trade, the 15th trade, the 20th trade, You're looking at the account now and you're like, damn. And in your mind, you forget that I started that account with $100 because you're looking at it now. You're seeing, oh, $1,000. Wow. How's he up to 1,000 already? It's trade by trade. That's all it is. So you're seeing it when you see my projects. You see it in real time. You see the trade and you see the balance grow at the same time. I do that to show you that you should do that. And again, this is regardless of how you trade. So even if you don't trade like me or you don't train with me or nothing, when you look at those projects and you see the way I do it, that's the way you should go about doing it if this is what you are doing professionally. And you got to test yourself. How will you know if you're professional level if you don't trade and consistently win and keep track and hold yourself accountable and have documentation? How are you going to know? The same way that you didn't know by the time you looked at trade number 18, if you just play trade number 18 in one of the project series that I have, you'll forget I started with $100 every time. Because you're just looking at now. You're like, wow, that was a nice trade. Because you're looking at how the balance jumped up again. But it's the same account. I started with $100. This is the point. $100. So you don't need 10 contracts locked in. You don't need $1,000 in the account to start. You don't need to deposit 500 to 1,000. You don't need to deposit 2,000, 5,000. $100 with one contract, and slowly scale up your account is how you prove that your skill level is at the professional level. And I know that it's frustrating for some people because they're like, man, I don't know if I could do that. Why not? Why can't you do that? That's the easiest thing to do. But Mark, what about the risk? That shit makes me laugh when people say that because I'm like, are you serious? The risk? What risk? It's $100. What risk are you talking about? Yeah, but my goodness, you could lose. The whole purpose of this is to learn how not to lose. Hello? The whole purpose of becoming a professional is so that you don't lose. Yes? So it's like, where is your thought process? Where is your train of thought going? Where's it going? Because if you're thinking that it's crazy to risk a trade with 20 contracts or 50 contracts or 100 contracts, you need to question, well, how did you get to 20, 50, or 100 contracts in the first place? How'd you get there? You didn't make a deposit and get there. And if you did make a deposit to be there, you're insane for doing that. That's crazy to me. That's risky to me. Because why would you deposit that much? I'm going to deposit 5,000. I'm going to start with 40 contracts. In fact, I'm going to start with 50 contracts. At 50 contracts, I can earn close to $1,000 a trade. Okay. So you really going to deposit 5 racks? You're going to make a deposit of 5,000 just so you can make close to $1,000 a trade? And if you're nuts enough to do that, What you're saying is that you're willing to do that and you're willing to put the 5,000 at risk. And to you, that makes more sense than starting with $100. Like, this is the part right here that really just, because remember, I'm not even talking about this because it's just something I think about. I'm talking about this because these are conversations I've had with people. Long ass conversations. People have messaged me and been messaging back and forth with me saying, Mark, I love what you do. I like, how you have the spreadsheet, but your spreadsheet is too risky. And I asked them, well, what's the alternative? What do you think is better? Well, what I would do, I just deposit the 5,000 and just be at 50 contract. Why would you do that? Why would you deposit 1,000? Like, for real, just hold on. Why would you even deposit $1,000? Why would you deposit $500? Why? And see, my thing is, I'm asking you a legitimate question, and the reason I'm asking you that is because if you would deposit that much, when have you proven that you can even grow that account to anything? Have you ever grown a $500 account to 5,000? See, and check this out. Matter of fact, that reminds me of a specific conversation that I had. Guy told me he took 1,000 to 5,000. I said, okay, that's great. I said, where you at now? Oh, well, I took a few losses and I made a withdrawal, so I'm at 500. Huh? What? So look at look like, just check that out. Look at what just happened. You just told me you took 1,000 to 5,000, but you don't have 5,000 to show. Because I'm like, all right, well, what happened to the 5,000? Where is it? Oh, well, I took some losses and I made a withdrawal. How much did you withdraw? Oh, I withdrew 500. Somebody got a calculator? Let's do some math. You deposited 1,000. You grew 1,000 to 5,000, and you made a withdrawal of 500. To me, that sounds like you're down 500. Or am I bugging? Let's do the math. Because if you withdrew 500, you deposited 1,000, and you withdrew 500. 1,000 minus 500 is 500. So you're down 500. But I grew 1,000 to 5,000. I had some losses in between, and I made a withdrawal. Bottom line, you are down 500. It doesn't matter what you did. So you going from 1,000 to 5,000 means what? What does that mean? Because you couldn't go from 5,000 to wherever else you wanted to go. That's the point that I'm making. Well, why couldn't you do that? Perhaps because your skill level is not where it needs to be able to do that in perpetuity. So you can't perpetually do that. That's the problem. You bragging and you boasting about going from 1,000 to 5,000. Many people have taken an account from something to something else. But that's not how you elevate to professional. And it don't mean much if you give it all back. What do you have to show for it? See, in our case, we have the skill to show. Uh-oh, here we go. We got the skill to show for what it is that we're doing. Why am I saying that? Because when you have the skill, you're in position to take $100 to wherever. Hello? Anytime let's say that you wanted to start over. And I don't even mean start over. Let's just say you want to start another account for your relative. You open up another account for them. And then you trade in that account. You start with $100 and you do the same shit in that account that you did in yours. You can only do that with skill. So what is the most important aspect of what it is that we're doing? Well, Mark, that's not good money management. Like, this was the argument that people have had. I like the spreadsheet, but it's too risky. It's not good money management at all. But you telling me that depositing $1,000 is good money management when all you withdrew was 500, so you're down 500. Regardless of what you did in the account, nobody cares. Oh, well, I took 1,000 to 5,000, but nobody cares. Not only that, you ain't got no documentation for it. You just telling me that. I don't know that you did that. Where's the videos? Where's the videos? This is why people don't like me. See, people don't like when you hold them accountable for shit that they saying. I'm like, this is what you said though. This is what you told me. You said you took 1,000 to 5,000. Great. And you took 1,000. All right. So there's people that made $1 million in a demo. So what? You a demo millionaire. But then you get in your live account and you blow it. So who cares? So then you want to blame NADEX. Oh, NADEX cheats. The demo is not the same as the live account. They're giving you a false impression that the live account is you'll be able to do the same thing. Where are you getting this from? Where are you getting this shit from? Just making shit up in your own head. Listen, for the short amount of time that I've been, making videos and doing content and communicating with people, I'm telling y'all, I've run into all type of people. And this is the shit that they be saying to me. Like this shit is crazy. Is it me? I'm like, are you serious? What are you talking about? But see, the part that kind of just irritates me is that you're trying to tell me shit. You telling me the spreadsheet that I have ain't shit. I like your spreadsheet, but it's too risky. I like that, but everyone can't be at 300 contracts. Who are you to say what everybody can't do? You don't even know how many people trade on NADEX. How you know how many contracts is out there? How do you know? Just off the top of my head, there's 4 people I know that trade at 300 contracts right now, not including me. In the same market I trade, and I get filled, and they get filled. So what are we talking about? And again, that's what I'm saying. Like, and then like people will say all of this shit, and they'll have no documentation to back up nothing. No video, just what you're saying. So I'm supposed to believe you just because you said it. Who are you? Especially when you're telling me some shit about me. That's the part that irritates me. I'm like, well, why are you messaging me? If you don't like the spreadsheet, then don't use it. But you the genius that thinks that it's less risk to make a larger deposit. What are you talking about? I'll never forget, and I'm trying to remember which trade it was. I think it was the Blueprint Project. This was a couple of years ago. In the Blueprint Project, I had did a video, and I think it might have been the last video of the project, and I forgot how many trades I did at that time, but it probably was around 20, maybe 20 trades or something like that. But it was like the last trade or something, and the balance was thousands of dollars. And of course, I started with $100, and somebody came on and they made a comment and was like, "Yeah, but if you lost that trade, you would have lost, $3,000 or $4,000." But I didn't lose. Not only that, you forget that I started with $100. Like it's so crazy. Every time they always forget that I started with 100. I'm like, see, I see now the pattern. People be upset at the fact that we start with 100. This is what I'm realizing is the issue. People don't like that we start with $100 because they don't think that you can start with 100 and grow it. They think you got to start with more. Well, $100, you're only making $18 per trade after fees. What are you talking about? Let's do some simple math. What's 18 times 4? That's $54. So if you started with $100 in 4 trades, you would have earned a profit of $54. Now that means on the 5th trade, you earn another $18, and that'll give you what? 72? So in 5 trades, you'll earn $72 in profit. After 5 trades, you can double the contract size. So now instead of trading with 1 contract, you trade with 2. So in 5 trades, you can double the size. So where you were making $18 on a trade, now you're going to make 36. And I'm like, what kind of math do you do in your head? 36 is twice 18. It's 2 times $18. So by the 6th trade, you're making twice as much. Jesus. And I'm like, get your calculator and get a scientific calculator because you don't understand the basic one. You need a scientific calculator. You need the shit with the square roots and pi and all that shit on it. I'm like, what part of that don't you understand? 36 is twice 18. 2 is twice 1. So if I'm at 1 contract, now I'm at 2, I doubled. Fucking retarded, man. That's what it is. People just be retarded half the time. All right, let me come in the comments real quick. I don't know, Rant Man just be popping up nowadays. Because what it is people be in my messages. That's why. And when people say shit and it kind of aggravates me a little bit, Rant Man pops his head up. Rant Man be like, yo, what the hell y'all talking about, yo? Let me plug this in. Rant Man be like, nah, homie. Oh, shit. Yeah, man, people are nuts. Right, they did all that and it don't count. Talking about they took 1,000 to 5,000. Stop it. Right. Angel said, crazy thing is that these are deposits that you could make and grow with your skill. But when you have that level of skill, you're not pressed starting at 100. And see, another thing that starting at $100 does, it puts you in position to prove. I think I got it. Prove it. If you think you have it, put your skill to the test now. Take 100 to 200. You can go from 100 to 200 to 6 trades. Not even in 5 trades. Yeah, on the 5th trade, my bad. So you know what? My bad. I'm over here talking all this shit. My math was off. 18 times 3 is 54. I think I said 18 times 4. Did I say 18 times 4? Well, maybe not. Maybe I was right. I forgot. But anyway, I know that after the 4th trade, you double the contract size because you've made $72 after 4 trades. But I might have said 3 trades. I don't know. I forgot. I'm over here talking all that shit about math. But you get my point, though. Yeah. That exactly. That shit definitely got clickbait vibes to it. Right. People lying to themselves. Exactly. And I'm like, yo, you don't got to lie to me. I really don't care. I don't care what you're doing. But if you want my help, you are going to respect the fact that I'm presenting you with something that makes sense. And it makes more sense than what you're telling me about. Don't message me talking about my spreadsheet is risky. You sound retarded. You sound retarded. How was anything risky that you started with $100? Where's the risk? You can scrape up $100 on the street. Go find bottles, redeem the bottles until you get up to $100. Anybody in the United States can do that. A homeless person can do that. $100. So I don't understand what you mean. Yeah, all that pipe dreams. It's just nonsense. Jeff says other trading platforms, their market data delayed 10 minutes for demo. You have to pay for live market data. But NADEX is free live data. Very true. Very true. I didn't even think about that, Jeff. You're right. I like this. Angel said, we don't do pipe dreams here. This is work. Mark always makes that clear. That's how I knew this was the only person I should be learning from. Come on now. Come on now. Yeah. Telling me it's risky. I'm like, what? Start from the bottom. Started from the bottom. Now we here. That's it. Look at this. Now this right here will scare folks. Around here is the entire account trading, the TA way. Woo! All or none. All or none. You talking all that shit about your strategy and your win rate. Yeah? Put your whole account up. Whoa. Yeah, like exactly. Convoluted with this, it's a numbers game. You overlook the work that it takes to build the numbers. This is not get rich quick, but it is get rich work. Y'all on it today. Ooh, I like this. Jamal said people say it's risky because they think the other money in their account is theirs. It's not yours until you withdraw it. Withdraw it. Bam. And exactly. So exactly what the person that was talking about the 1,000 to 5,000. You took it from 1,000 to 5,000 and you ain't withdraw nothing. Instead, you took L's. So you gave it back. And you probably withdrew 500 when you only had 1,500 left in the account. I don't know, but I'm just saying. Probably was your balance probably was like 1,500. You was like, all right, let me take out 500, and you left 1,000 in there thinking that you're gonna start over again. And then we know the rest. From that point, I've never heard from them again. So who knows what they've done now, up to now? If I had to guess, I would say that they gave up. So when it's all said and done, it's like, yo, you really got to take your time and like develop this skill set. Oh, let me turn this thing on so I can plug this thing in. Hold on. Yep. It's much better to take your time and actually learn how to develop professional level skill. And this is why, like, even the people that have shiny ball syndrome, you know how people be, something new comes out and they own it, they own whatever the new thing is. Oh, there's a new system out. There's a new strategy out. These new indicators. Keep hopping around like that, you're going to get exhausted just from hopping around. You spend all of that money and you spend all that time and you still haven't developed any skill in the market. So it's like, what was the purpose of that? What was the purpose of the time that you spent not learning the market? You losing valuable time. That, like, time is value when you assign value to it. You subscribing to a signal service or buying a strategy or, you know, and I don't want to be that extreme, but even like reading books. There's nothing wrong with reading books. I get it. But you be reading too many books. Some of y'all read too much. You so book smart, you don't know, you don't know how to apply the knowledge from the books. It's like apply it now. See, it's different when you're actually being conditioned. And let me say this too, like, don't be afraid of this. You're being programmed. When you train, you're being programmed. But think about what you're being programmed to do. Just think about that for a minute. See, like television, social media, movies, all of this stuff programs us subconsciously. We don't necessarily even realize it. And it's conditioning you to be a certain way. But when you're training and you're learning a skill like this, you keep hearing the training on repeat. You keep hearing it over and over and over again. It's conditioning you to actually see the market, and the market is the vehicle that will allow you to produce financial freedom for yourself. You see the difference? What other vehicle can you tell me that exists that will allow you to become financially free? By being skilled at knowing it. Tell me. And I'm talking about on the same scale that this is on. You know, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of different professions that you can do that are very lucrative. But everybody can't do it. This is something everybody could do. I don't care who you are. Some people think they're too good for this. All right. You're too good for this. All right. And it's so funny when people like, I forgot where I was, but I was somewhere where there were business people. It was like a function, and I was invited, and I'm having conversations with different people at the function, and they're telling me about, you know, what they do, their profession, and you know, it was like a lot of business, marketing executives, a lot of media people. You know, people were like mainly in that category, marketing, business to business. Some of them were B2C, which is business to customer. Some of them were direct to consumer, entrepreneurs, you know, stuff like that. So I'm talking, and I'm like, yo, I'm a professional trader. And they immediately start looking like, huh? I'm like, yeah, I trade professionally. Oh, what do you trade? Stocks? Nope. Oh, what do you trade? And then I go into briefly, you know, I trade using the Forex markets, but I trade a specific instrument called binary options. And it's actually on the only US regulated platform in the US. Oh, wow. And their interest immediately starts to activate because of the way that I present it. Because I'm like, when I first say professional trader, people don't understand what that means because it's kind of vast. Trading is it's like big in people's heads. They always associate trading with the stock market for some reason. I don't know why. Oh, you trade stock market, or you're a day trader. It's like there's just this thing that people have in their mind about trading. And that's why this content is so important, because it lets you know that it's not limited to that. There's a lot of different ways that you can trade. A lot of people think too, oh, is it crypto? No, it's not crypto either. So when I take the time to actually break it down, then I take the time to break down, you know, the way that I look at the market and interpret the movement, you know, and how the behavior will determine whether or not it's the right time to be in a trade that will be profitable. And then listening, they're like, wow. And they hear all of the knowledge, and they hear the shit that just makes sense because all of the fluff is removed. I don't talk about nothing that's not relevant. I talk specifically about it is what that everything I do. And by the time they finish listening to me, they're like, wow. So do you teach people to do that? In other words, can you teach me to do? So they go from thinking in the back of their mind, like, you know, I'm better than that, or I'm bigger than that, or I probably make more money. You know, a lot of them come to find out they don't even make more money than I make. But we have to work our way to that conversation. But when it's all said and done, it's like you can't prejudge anything until you know what it is. The same way that regular people, this is available for regular folks. Like, you don't have to be somebody that went to college or you went to a special school to learn and to be introduced to this. It's a guy on YouTube sitting in the back of a truck right now telling you about something that can make you financially free by learning it, that I've already been doing for years. That's incredible. That's not normal. That's special. That's special. So, regardless of who you are, what your background is, don't think that you better than this and you too big for this. And because let me tell you, when you're in position with this skill set, I guarantee you'll make more money than everybody around you. You'll make more money than everybody in your neighborhood. It's crazy because like my neighbors, they have no idea. They just be like, oh wow, nice truck, nice house. It's like they just see shit, but they don't know what's even going on. And that's how you want to be able to live. It's like you're free. You're free financially. You're free otherwise also. All because you dedicated time to learning a skill. And that's what I'm saying about the way that you should see this. This is a profession. This is a skill set. It's something legitimate that you can learn. And by acquiring it, it puts you in position to separate yourself from everyone else who don't know. And people also that, underestimate what it is that we're actually able to do. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. This is something different. It's special. Yes, it is. David said, better to just stay put, TA kick back, train, and sip chai. Amen to that. Right. Prediction is the gamble, so you go ahead with your imaginary numbers and imaginary probabilities. We'll stay here patiently in tune with the reality of the market. Never have to guess, so how could we lose? Exactly. Exactly. Totally removing the guesswork. Totally. Wrote, just wild to think about it. We live in an age where this type of teaching is possible and a lot of people don't know about it, right? Exactly. Exactly. And that's, like in the back of my mind, that's one of the things that just keeps me going because I'm like, you know what? I don't know. One day the right person that this is for, that it's going to change their life and change everything about their future, they're going to run into this one day. And I always feel like it'll be as a result of a live stream I did. I didn't feel like doing. When I didn't feel like coming on, I came on anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like it'll be that type of dynamic just because I was willing to share, just because I was willing to go live that day. They just happened to run into the content. Because like I said, and like I say all the time, nobody know about TeamAlliance. It seemed like a lot of people do, but nobody knows about TeamAlliance. A lot of people don't even know about NADEX. And I'm like, when you combine the two, you combine TA with this platform, it's crazy. It's a total life change, like for real. Because you got to understand also, like that the skill set that you're developing, patience and discipline, those are life skills. That's not just, skills that we use in the market. Those are skills that allow you to operate efficiently in your life. They are life skills. And you're learning that through this training. So as your life starts to change and improve in so many different areas, it's as a result of the mindset work that we put in. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. Yep. Rose said, if and when they view this, it's another funneling process for those who build the patience and discipline. Exactly. Exactly. Rose said he caught me on the live. Yep. Yep. And and that's what I mean. Like it could have just as easily been like, I feel like doing it now. And just because I didn't do it, maybe you didn't run into it that day. You understand? Like that's how I always feel. And that's why I'm always so generous and like unselfish with the time that it takes. Very much so. Because I know what this is gonna do for someone's trajectory in their future just by running into this and applying what it is that we do here and what we're learning. Man, this shit gonna change everything for you. And the funny thing is that most people don't even realize that at first. They're like, it sounds good. I think I'm gonna do this. But they don't realize that by doing this, your whole future is gonna change. Shit that you thought you wouldn't be able to do. You'll actually be able to do it. Like it'll happen now. You'll manifest it now. Because you actually have a vehicle and a means to do it. It's not just a dream. That's another thing too about dreams. It's great to dream because when you dream, you project your thought energy into what you would like to have. But what happens when the vehicle to make the dream become real comes? Think about that. Like a lot of people dream all day. They got dreams, they got, desires and things that they want to do, but it remains in the dream world because the vehicle's not there for them to accomplish that. So it's like, damn, you sitting there waiting for, something to come about to help you manifest that. What happens when it comes? That's what TA is. That's what this is. I'm telling you, man, like people telling y'all, man, stop playing. Stop playing. Yeah, this is true. David said NADEX becomes too risky for the untrained mind. And see, that's the thing too. Now, if you're not successful on the platform, it's not too late. Whoa. It ain't too late for you. But you are gonna have to humble yourself. This is what I was saying earlier about the whole debate. Like people like to put up a debate and they like friction. Instead of just being humble. It's like, well, maybe I should listen to this guy because he's actually successful doing this. Yeah. It actually makes sense to listen to somebody that's having success with what you not having success with. Maybe you should listen to them. Just maybe. Crazy. Jamal said 1 trade a week is $1 million in 4 years. Takes close to 25 years to make $1 million in stocks. 2 a week, 2 years, $1 millionaire. All right. Yeah, we ain't even gonna go there. We ain't gonna go. See, perspective. That's perspective right there. Matter of fact, let me read that again. Because he ain't lying. He said it takes people close to 25 years to make $1 million in the stock market. Probably longer, probably closer to 30. To make 1 million. And we're in position to do that, trading once a week within 4 years. This insanity, man. Right, no need to rush. Take your time, man. Take your time. Shani says there's so many factors why this is the best business, period. That's a fact. All facts. Yeah, man, undeniable. This is funny, right? David said, what's crazy is through my journey trying to understand NADEX, a guy said you can't become rich on binary options. Glad I didn't listen. Exactly. Exactly. People forget that everything is impossible until somebody does it. You forget that. Everything's impossible until somebody do it. Mm-hmm. Angel said same thing happened to her. They wanted to debate. Yeah, people see, and that's another thing too. People will do that because they want you not to do it just in case it works. People are always thinking like, damn, what if they do it and it works though? So what they'll do is they'll push negativity into you, hoping that you don't do it. They don't want you to do it and succeed. Because in the back of their mind, they're like, damn, what if they actually succeed at that shit? And I'm not doing it. Well, the joke's on you, homie. That's what it is. Oh, that's hard. Jay Carly, we wear millionaires every day. Might as well start working like them. But our way. Let's go. Let's go. He said the people on Wall Street use binaries to bait people, but they don't really trade them. I said, okay, good for them. Yep. Yep. Exactly. Exactly. And that's herd mentality anyway. Anytime you listen to people and what people say and what they think, you follow in the herd, because until you do your own actual research and looking into, you ain't gonna know shit anyway. On these sites like Pocket Option and whatever the other one is called, these overseas brokers, they still think that that's what binary options are. They don't realize that there's a platform that been around for, gotta be what year was that when NADEX became NADEX? I think it was 2009. Yeah, 2009. So we in 2021 now. So that's 11 years, right? No, 12 years. Yeah, so platform been around for 12 years that reinvented binary options altogether on a regulated platform. This is how behind people are. They don't even know that this platform even exists. They still thinking binaries are what you trade overseas, somewhere in Greece. Crazy. Rose says some people who already invest and trade have too much pride. You can explain that the protocol for these binary options are different from typical stock options. They won't hear it. Yeah. And that's why I leave them right where they at. I leave them right there, stuck on stupid. I'm like, you go right ahead. Yep, it's crazy. The gamble is not having the knowledge of the skill. Yeah, yeah. The MLM traders is mad funny though. They mad funny. Right. We earn while you learn. They admitted the important part. That's funny. They called. He said, "I was never leaving TA to pay $389 a month to build my team." Bad goofy. Yeah, I remember when I found out what you call it was charging. I was like, are you kidding me? $299 a month. Crazy, man. Yep. Yeah. See, and this is the thing. Like, what I love about this is that you don't have to tell nobody nothing. What's going to happen eventually is they're going to see how you live. They're going to see your lifestyle, and your lifestyle is going to be the best advertisement for what we're doing, because they're going to be like, well, how were you able to do that? How do you get that? How are you doing that? I always see you with money. I always see you over here. I always see you doing this. Like, you being able to move around and travel and, go places, go out to eat at good restaurants, and do all of these things and create this lifestyle for yourself. You don't think people gonna be wondering? They're like, wait, you ain't got no job? Right. Exactly. You hit it on the head. Right. I ain't got no job. So that's the part right there that I love right there. Andrew said, I'm glad I learned about NADEX from a terrible teacher, forcing me to look elsewhere, and wound up here. Wow. I didn't know that, Angel. That's where you came from? Wow. Okay. Right. TA is a team. We don't have to recruit to waive a crazy ass fee. Recruit for and pay no more. Oh shit. Somebody asked you if this is money laundering? Wow. That's hilarious. There you go. There you go. The other day when I posted a withdrawal for a partial fill. I don't even want to tell you how many messages I got that day. You remember the other day? I think it was, yeah, matter of fact, this was last week. Posted a withdrawal I made on a partial. My inbox was crazy. I had old, like, people that used to train messaging me. Oh, Mark, um, still on NADEX? What? What? Stop it. Like, I'm on NADEX still. Get out of here. Yeah, people are funny, man. Oh, really? Oh, wow, this is interesting. He said the guy was a bond futures trader. Very interesting. Bond futures. Making an extra 6 to 9 thousand a week with NADEX's play money for his futures. Mm-hmm. You know why I'm laughing at that? Because you're right. I don't ever see no customers in there. You are not lying. You are not lying. It's like they just a front for something else, right? Like, why y'all still in business? I don't never see nobody in here buying no mattresses. Yeah, man, asking me retarded ass, like, that's a retarded question. Come on, man. Right, you see me, right? You know that you be seeing the live. Stop. You know you see these lives. Yeah, people is funny though. Yeah, man, but it's all good. It is good. It is all good. Right. I'm just doing this because I ain't got shit else to do. Silliness. Right. This is good. Rose said, still on NADEX has to mean that you never understand the process at all, right? You never got it. Some people don't even have trade mode. They on gamble mode. Very true. Very true. Yeah, and see what it is that they don't understand. Right. They think everybody's like them. And they don't understand the level of discipline. They're like, how are you that disciplined to still be on that platform doing what you're doing? I don't understand that. Like, how can you be that disciplined? What are you talking about? That's what the training is for. That's why we train. Stop, man. This is true. Now, we just said having no job at first is a mental struggle. It takes time, training, and patience to accept freedom. Very true. Yo, that's funny. This is true. Tagging me in posts. I'll be removing them tags too. I'm like, you ain't gonna have this shit on my timeline. Get out of here. Yeah, Jelani, that mattress firm shit is real. That's real. Oh man. Yeah, this is what it is. That's what it is, man. That's what it is. Yeah, man. So I mean, just to recap again, it's not hard to do what we do, but you are gonna work your ass off to do it because you have to overcome all of your bullshit. All of your ego got to be shut down. You got to become humble. You got to be willing to learn. You have to be willing to follow directions and instructions. When I tell you to stop trading, that means stop trading. Like, you out of control, some of y'all. Some of y'all watching right now. Oh, I can't train because I don't have no discipline. Well, that's your problem. Keep it up. Keep doing that shit and see how much success you're going to have. You're not going to have any. It's going to continue to be what it has been for you. Like, you got to get sick and tired of being sick and tired. That's what it is. And until you do, it's going to be more the same for you. So, yeah. I mean, but this is not hard to do, man. You take your time, you train, you learn, overcome your nonsense and your bullshit, your lack of patience, your lack of discipline. Like, overcome all of that. Learn how to observe the market. Just wait. Stop being so thirsty. People be so thirsty. I'm like, why you gotta trade? Why? You just gotta take a trade. Relax. Shit. You want to take a trade in your head. Learn how to do that. And after you take that shit in your head, look back and see, like, damn, did that even make sense? Did I know that the market was going to move like that? See? Start asking yourself questions. Like, that's the only way that you're going to be able to get it, man, because, like I said, it's a binary. It's a binary. It's a line here, and the market moves like this. Market sometimes moves like this fast, sometimes move like this, sometimes move like this, sometimes it moves like this, sometimes it moves like this. It moves all different types of ways. If the movement ain't stable, you shouldn't be trading. If the movement is stable, you have to be in the trade at the right time. So in other words, there has to be a trade when the market is stable. That's the only time you should be in a trade. Why don't you know that now? All these observations I do coffee and charts and live market observations and shit. And you still just jumping into trades. What's wrong with you? I'm gonna take this one. Wasting time. Wasting time. When you can just take your time, say you only took one trade a week. One trade a week. That's a little over 6 months. You win position. Hundreds of contracts. And just stick to one trade a week. If that's all you did, that's $250,000 a year. All right, I'm done. Telling y'all, man, some of y'all need a scientific calculator. Silliness. Right. Damn, you still running that $1 million business? Like, nah, I don't do that no more. Stupid ass. Ooh, get him, Angel. Get him. So if you want to do this because you don't want to work for nobody or want to serve customers, you better know how to get yourself in check. Learn how to control your damn self. Let's go. Let's go. Look at what Rose says. Same shit. Hardest part of this is ourselves. Good and bad news. Good because the process is so streamlined. If you're focused, bad if you're terrible at trying to work on yourself. Right. And most people are. Look, I understand that most people have difficulty dealing with themselves, but that still ain't no excuse. You still, in order to get through, you still got to do it. Oh, well, I don't have patience, Mark. Oh, man, it's so hard to be, I have a problem with patience. I have no discipline. I don't give a shit. You're going to have to learn how to do it. You're going to have to learn how to develop that patience and discipline, period. That shit is worth money. See? When you start thinking that way, like, damn, patience and discipline is worth 6 figures. Hello? Let me say that again. Patience and discipline is worth 6 figures. Multiple 6 figures a year. So when you telling me I don't have discipline, you telling me you don't want the bag. Oh boy. Problem is people think they're in the income phase, but they're really not. Shawnee always be taking shots. Shawnee be like, yo, don't quit your day job, homie. David said, TA's my ticket out of healthcare and into a new outlook. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, David came on and said one time what his plan was. I forgot exactly what it was, but he said it on here one day. And it was solid too. Because it's realistic. Yeah, like that really gets on my nerves. Mad because you mad at me because you can't control you. What? Like, why are you upset with me about it? Like I did something to you. Pretty much. Alvin, overcoming all obstacles is a must. Right. It's not optional. It's not optional. All right, y'all. I'm out, man. I'm out. And that's it. If I can do it, you can too. Enough said. All right, y'all. I'm out. I'll see y'all on the next one. Probably be tomorrow, maybe around the same time. I'm going to get a chicken pot pie. They actually got good chicken pot pie at Boston Market. I don't know if they have that everywhere where y'all are, but they got them in New York definitely. I'm going to get a chicken pot pie and something from Haagen-Dazs. Sounded mad greedy right now. Yep. All right, y'all, but I'm out, man. So I'll see y'all on the next one. So this is Live Coffee and Charge. This is volume 46 in the bag. All right, y'all know what it is. Mark Fuller, TeamAlliance. Yeah. All right, y'all. You'll never find. Always a pleasure.